This has been one of the craziest weeks for CS2 investing we've had in a while. First up, talking about our Austin Major. Obviously, that sale came out and we're finally starting to see some of these prices that these stickers are leveling out at, and it's been actually insane. We're still looking at over 100% ROI for the Contender sticker capsule and near 100% for the other two. Now, I want to reiterate, this is still a couple days after these stickers have been available for sale, meaning these prices are not necessarily stabilized, but they're not the first day prices, which is crazy because so many of these capsules are sitting at such crazy high ROIs, definitely showing that you could have made a lot of profit if you unbox these on that first day. And there's so much to break down with these capsules. These stickers are extremely expensive, which is not something I specifically expected. I honestly thought we would see prices drop down significantly more than they have, and a lot of these are still sitting in a pretty valuable situation, including that Blast TV Hollow, which is very interesting because usually these are extremely low in price. This year it actually looks okay, and that's why we're seeing such, relatively speaking, high prices for it. Overall, there's so much to break down with Austin, but to be honest with you, I'm just extremely shocked by what we're seeing right now for the ROIs, and it's definitely a good thing in my personal opinion, but it doesn't really have an impact on CS investing, and we're gonna have to wait for our data, which we'll come around to in a minute to talk about that. Skinland is today's sponsor, and if you're looking to sell your CS2 skins, they are the #1 spot. Now with Valve's latest update, you have to wait 7 days to go ahead and get your money, but with Skinland, you're gonna be able to get the best rate possible with a $10 free bonus on your first trade. Now don't forget to use code MasterShiny for that bonus, and the best part about this is they are one of the first to bring this back, and they are the most safe option to sell your CS2 skins for cash. They've also got a massive marketplace if you're looking to pick up some CS2 skins as well, significantly cheaper than the Steam market. I sell on Skinland for the best rate, so don't wait. Now if there's one area that's been exploding without really any interest in the rest of the market, it's going to be the major capsules and the major sticker market. Specifically, this Evil Genius Hollow is definitely taking that first place. This thing is insane, currently at $80, which is honestly like astronomically high. If we want to look at the price graph, it's up over 1,000% in the past month, and when we look at the past 6 months, you can see it's just off the charts. This thing's absolutely insane. If we want to look at the legend sticker capsule that contains it, we can see a massive amount of growth as well. This thing over the past month is really 2 to 3x its price, which is also a really good piece of profit. Now, if we want to come back to the rest of the major sticker market and the major capsule market, we have seen all across the board, there's been a very significant pickup in interest for the majority of these items, and that's a really good sign for specific items, but I really struggle with making a strong investment into this area. I'd be very concerned personally because it's so much hype really going on here. I really like a lot of these investments when we come down to the fundamentals, being that they are limited items, and theoretically if that demand stays the same, it's going to continue going up in price, but the demand fluctuates so much inside of this area and it falls off so hard at times. I would be extremely nervous about making significant investments into this area. With that being said, I mean, obviously look at these prices. It has been a very solid time for the majority of these investments up until now, especially over the past month, and therefore you can definitely make a lot of profit, but look at how quickly things can fall off as well. Be very careful, but if you got these items, you just made a lot of money, which is crazy. Now, before we get too deep into it, we also have some of the Austin data right here, and it doesn't seem like things are actually too crazy going on. If obviously you see a pretty drastic fall off for the majority of these application numbers and stuff like that, which is very interesting, although it definitely is not the full picture going on here. Remember, you have a week waiting from the time you apply something, so we're going to be able to get a lot better rounded visual next month when we see all of the sticker data sale that's really coming into this. Remember, this sale is going to be going on for a very significant amount of time, and even though the ROIs are high right now, it's going to be a very easy process for them to get down to that 40, 50, 60% ROI, which is what we really expect to see during a major sale. Overall, Austin's a very interesting area to watch, but I would definitely not be putting any money in just yet, in my personal opinion. Now, another area that's been going absolutely insane is going to be the agent market. Now, we've talked a little bit about it, but the agent market is such an interesting one because we don't have any strong comparisons to make. Usually, we've got some areas that are similar. Agent market is not like that at all, and honestly, look at these prices. I mean, I cannot believe the prices we're seeing all across the board, and when we talk about the agent market, consistently over time, there's been one very consistent trend, and that's going to be the fact that the Shattered Web agents suck. That's because everyone got them. With Broken Fang and Riptide, you had to specifically choose the agent and choose the rarity, which is why they became so limited. Shattered Web was not like that. Everyone received the agents, and therefore they were always behind in terms of the percentage gain that we saw with the other agents. Now we're starting to see that change because agents are just so much in demand all across the board. Even the Shattered Web agents have creeped up in price. Maybe not as much as some of the Riptide and Broken Fang ones, but the fact that they're even somewhat similar in the same ballpark is absolutely insane. I cannot believe the prices we're seeing for agents right now. It is a huge opportunity to sell if you wanted to cash out some of that profit, or if you want to keep on consistently holding on to these, because let's be honest, these graphs are very tempting and they look really good all across the board. I would definitely say an asset like this that has potentially doubled in the past month and nothing has fundamentally fundamentally changed other than the slight increase in demand. It doesn't seem like there's a really strong reason to sell right now unless you think it's going to crash, which is really hard to tell, obviously, especially with the agent market. Then getting to my favorite area, which is obviously that case market. Things are not the most ideal theoretically inside this area. These unboxing numbers are definitely a little bit lower than what I would like to see, but overall, all across the board, we are still in a very fine position. Right now, it seems like everything but the rare case market has really taken an impact in terms of the CS investing area. The majority of them are receiving all the interest right now, which is not too surprising. Let's be really straightforward here. The rare case market over the past year has been the strongest inside of the game compared to any other area. Look at something like the snake bite. It's still near $1. It has seen really no pullback at all, and that's the biggest piece of advice I have with the rare case market right now. Look at the downturn for it right now. We're seeing maybe 10 to 15% maximum pullback for the majority of these rare cases, which shows just how fundamentally strong they are. I will say there's a lot of investments right now that I would be questionable about going into. The rare case market is not one of them. Long term, this is definitely still my favorite area to be in. The ROI percentage wise is not going to be the most amazing because they are getting to be a little bit expensive, but they are still a solid option, and we know exactly what the future looks like for the majority of these rare cases, which is really all you can ask for, especially inside of CS investing. Now, talking about everything we're seeing for the Armory right now, obviously we got that brand new M4A1S Solitude coming in, and this thing in factory new is almost $80. That's crazy and not something I really expected at all, but it really goes to show you there is a strong opportunity with the Armory when these brand new items come around. Lots of people have made a lot of money just redeeming this on that first day, and if we want to look at the rest of the Armory, we're not seeing anything too crazy. I think one of the biggest takeaways to take from the Armory right now is that we're not going to be receiving any Armory updates for a fair bit of time, especially not until that M4A1S Solitude has run its course, done its pathway, and that's definitely going to be a couple months. I think we're looking at October at the earliest for any Armory changes, which is a good and a bad thing. At least we know where that stands, especially for those Fever and Gallery cases. I would say over the next 2 months, you're going to have opportunities with that or any other Armory investment that you're really looking to make. You're going to have those opportunities because honestly, I don't think the interest for the Armory is going to be that high moving forward unless we receive something that's going to shift it up, which I really can't see being too likely, at least at this moment. Now, we talked a little bit about it earlier, but I would be very careful about these huge profit explosions that we're seeing specifically inside of the major sticker market right now. Even something like the Renegade Stockholm sticker that's up 600-700% in the past month. It's a lot of really interesting growth, but honestly, it can drop down super quickly and you could lose that 600-700% very easily. It's something I would definitely be very cautious about moving forward. And then come into my suggestions of what should you be doing right now. Well, first up, I'm definitely staying very interested in what's going on for the Austin Major. These ROIs are still extremely high, which is super interesting to look at and definitely something to keep an eye on. We're not really caring about the Austin packages too much in my personal opinion right now. Otherwise, I'm just looking at the general market, seeing what items are exploding, because some of these items you can make a lot of profit on if you're in the right place at the right time, so keep your eyes out. That's all I got with this. Give me a great rest of your day.